Hey everybody, welcome to the channel. Today we are going to be working on this Toro trimmer. We're going to be putting a HIPAA parts carb on it. I've already done the gas lines, but the HIPAA parts carbon kit, you know, you get a couple new seals, filter, lines, the carburetor. I'll have that link down below if you guys want to do this swap that I'm doing. It'll be an Amazon link. Buy through that link, help support the channel and the videos that I'm creating, and I do appreciate it. I'll also have some tools that are the same or similar there for the job. And yeah, be sure to give me a thumbs up, hit subscribe, hit that bell, hit all, and let me know if this works for you. With that, let's get started. Okay guys, got my trimmer here ready to go. You'll have to twist this knob, pull the cover off, remove your air filter. Now I have mine already loose because I was already monkeying around with it. After that, you are going to need a T20 torque bit, and then you got one screw, two screws right here, 1 and 2. All right, I forgot to mention that kit comes with a new primer bulb, so if you need to, you could swap yours out. Mine's good, so we're just going to roll with it. Now sometimes this whole thing will come off once those screws are out. Out. The next one is another T20 screw up here on top. This holds the throttle cable. Undo that so the cable's loose. Give it a twist, everything comes undone. Got some seals. This goes right up here on the intake. Got another seal. This one's got a little rip in it. Luckily, we've got some replacements. So, all right, at this point, if there's fuel in your tank, there's a chance it's going to spit at you. So either you can drain your tank ahead of time. Sometimes you can get away with just, if there's not a full tank, there's just a little. Sometimes you could just pop the top, release pressure, get away with it. It's going to come off easily or not. That one did. So here's our old carburetor. Now, the new carburetor does look a little different, right? We don't have this choke lever. I'm going to be honest, I already put it on and ran it because it didn't have this. I didn't have any issues with this new style. So we're going to put it on and run it, and I'll show you. So here's the old one. We're going to set that aside. Now, I did go through this old one and I cleaned it, but the diaphragms are all stiff, and so it won't work properly. Honestly, these days, it's, you know, if you want to find OEM diaphragms and all that, you know, more power to you. But for me, I'm just going to swap them out. It's easier. Now, if you do want to do your gas lines, or if you need to do these gas lines, take the line they gave you, fish it down in the tank, right? Measure out the old one, pull it out, cut the new one a little bit longer than the old one, fish it in the tank, fish it out, put your new fuel filter on, push that in the tank, put this line on, put this line on, put your new primer bulb in. That's easy stuff. You should be able to look at it and do that, to be honest, on this unit. And then, you know, you're to this point. So they give us a couple seals that we're going to use. Now, it came with two. One is smaller than the other, and for my unit, the smaller one is going to work best. So that's what I'll be using. The larger one, I'm going to put on the back of the air box to seal the air box to the carburetor. And so what I'm going to do is put my screws back through the back side of the air box. Oop, not yet. Getting ahead of myself. I'm going to take my carb, take the one that points down, put the long gas line on it. Take the short one that's attached to the primer bulb and put that to the one here that's shooting off to the left. All right. I'm kind of going to hold this all in one hand. Get my bolts kind of started here a little bit. Take that bigger seal, put that over my bolts. Put my carb on here like this. Push my bolts through that carburetor. Grab my new gasket. I keep saying seals. My new gasket. Put that on. Line this guy right back up. Grab my T20. Put these two screws back in place. All right, so those are on. Now we have this cable's got to go back in. So what you can do is take your cable, fish it in the hole, pop it down, and then just feed it back underneath that metal piece. Tighten this guy back up. Done. All right, now I do have a tip as far as fuel goes. All right, you can save yourself some headache and not have to do this kind of stuff every... Now I do have a tip for you guys as far as fuel goes. Save you having to do this stuff every year. First, end of season, drain the tank. If you're mixing your own fuel, drain the tank. I chainsaw carve when I'm not doing this channel. I'm doing my other channel, KyleHallWoodworker, where I'm chainsaw carving and things like that, and I do a lot of chainsaw carving. I run Steel HP Ultra. I mix 50-to-1 mix, and that's what I run in all my chainsaws and all my two-stroke engines. This is a two-stroke engine. Mixed gas, right? For the homeowner, though, something I do recommend is the Steel Moto Mix, all right? So it's got like a 5 or 7 year shelf life if you never open it, and then it's a 2-year shelf life if you do open it. So if you run this, all right, say you run it this summer, you get some, you run it this summer, you put it in the tank, but you don't drain the tank dry or you keep filling it, you know, summer ends and you just put it away, this should fire right back up in the spring. It shouldn't be gummed up. You shouldn't have any issues or anything like that like you normally do, even when you get good fuel from the pump and you mix your own stuff properly, right? Because we all mix it properly and we all buy the expensive fuel, and then we all have no idea why stuff doesn't work after it sits for a season. Well, because we all probably aren't telling the truth. If you put this in, though, pre-mixed, Moto Mix, it's ready to go, 50-to-1. You buy the can, right? You get the small one, you get the gallon, whatever. Run that. You don't have to mix it. Ready to go. 2-year shelf life. Pull this thing off the shelf in the spring, and you shouldn't have to clean your carb or swap your carb or anything. A lot of time those carburetor issues are due to the fact that you've got old gunky junky gas that sat for months and gummed everything up on you. Honestly, that is usually the biggest problem. That's the biggest thing I run into when repairing units for people. Just that's it. I mean, can't really say too much because that's usually the main issue to why we have to do what we just did here today. So I will have a link. Pretty sure Amazon has this stuff. I'll have a link to this if you guys want to get some of that as well. And we'll have a link to the carburetor and the kit and all that. All right, so that's it. The job's done. The carburetor is on. We're going to take this outside, fuel it back up a little bit more, and see if we can't fire it up together. Alright guys, so here we are. In the case of where mine is at, there's already fuel in the primer bulb, but I know that carburetor is pretty much dry. So we can even follow the instructions, right? This one says pump 7 times. Now, if you pull and it doesn't start, there's a chance you flooded it. If that is the case, you pull out your spark plug, make sure the unit's off, pull it over 5 or 6 times. It'll dispense the fuel, don't have your face in the way, put your plug back in, prime it 3 times, 4 times, and usually it'll fire up. But let's see where we're at right here. Unit's on. Let's prime it a couple more here. Wants to go. Now this not having the choke, by having a screw in the back, we may have to adjust that screw to give it more fuel because we're not able to choke it up. it won't start up super easy. Sometimes you just gotta twist that little screw in about 1/4 of a turn and try it again. When you first do work like this, things don't always fire up first pull. This is running pretty good. I'm happy with it. Be sure to give me a thumbs up, hit subscribe. Let me know if this worked out for you guys, and check out some other videos. Have an awesome day.